Ilan ang absent? Gabriel, marami pang wala.
Hindi pa po sure kung absent sila, baka late lang po.
How many are you?
23 po kami.
23? Wala, dami pang wala. Ask them to join now. Saan yung mga classmate?
Nag-excuse po yung isa po sa amin. Masama daw po yung pakiramdam niya.
So ilan pa?
8 na lang po.
8 na lang wala. Kasi 14 to. Kaya kasama, di ba? 14. 23 ba? Ilan?
23 po. Then may isa pong nagkaka-internet problems. Pero tatry niya pong sumali.
Okay, check the attendance now. Kasama yun sa ano, ha? You prepare your Excel. Attendance, names, alphabetical, per meeting, absent, late, excuse. Okay? Citation, cumulative, ha? O, submission, paper 1, late, on time, check. Ha? Paper 2, ganyan, ha? Tapos, up to final group paper. Okay? Submit na ba yung first paper ninyo? Submit it to me?
Hindi.
You have a folder?
Meron na po kaming
Per
folder.
student, may kang folder, ha? Papasok mo lahat yung paper per meeting. Tapos send mo sa link sa Gmail ko. Google Drive. Give me the link.
Ano po yung Gmail niyo? Wala pa po ako.
Wala pa? Send mo. Pero nasaan yung first paper? Diyan na?
Meron na po akong na-compile na po namin.
O send mo sa akin. Hindi ko ba naman na-email sa'yo? Gmail, detectivebogart@gmail.com. Small letter. Ha? Saan ba yun? I-ano ko sa'yo, i-text ko mamaya.
Sige.
Doon we send, ha? O, kasi may paper 1 na, di ba?
Yes po.
Pero, i-send mo sa akin, tapos compile mo, ha? Para may backup, ha?
Okay.
Okay. So, wala pa yung iba. So, i-take down mo, ha? Take notes, ha? Kasi we don't record this, ha? Take down notes nyo. Tapos yung absent, pag-share na lang, ha? Because you're gonna integrate that in your paper, no? Your next reaction paper, synthesis paper, 1 page. Write short paragraphs. 3 to 4 sentences is the current trend. If you go beyond, don't go beyond 5 sentences per paragraph. That's in academic writing. No? Direct to the point, right choice of words, no? Tapos short paragraphs. So kung 1 page yan, I expect mga 3 paragraphs yan, ha? Hindi pwedeng isang paragraph and that's too long. Why? You can't understand it clearly. Trend sa mga academic writing, 3 to 4 sentences, no? Yung mga old, you notice also the older papers, mahahaba nga ang paragraph, ang hirap i-sustain yung thought, di ba? Yung ideas, hirap i-intindihin. Kaya yung mga contemporary academic writing, 3 to 4 paragraphs recommended ng mga editors, okay? Tapos, use simple words, express your thoughts, okay? But the main criteria in grading is your synthesis of our incorporation of our lecture and the readings, okay? The more you incorporate, the higher your grade. Why? Because I can't control what you're doing behind your avatars. It's a digital education kasi it's student-centered. So you yourself must initiate in the learning process. No? So it's you who will synthesize, will reflect, and write your thesis paper. Okay? So also you will do research, group research. So for you to discover new knowledge, create new knowledge based on our topics. Okay? Understood? Your paper, group paper, are you ready in the second part to present your post article paper by group, di ba? By twos, by threes. Hello.
Hindi po.
Mamaya, mamaya, mag-suggest kayo ano yung topic na i-research niyo by group. That's to serve as your major exams, okay? To be submitted the week before the final exam. You are going to defend that at the end of the before the end of the before the final exam week. Okay? So mamaya, uh, maybe 2 to 3 minutes per group, present to me in 1 or 2 slides ano yung working title mo, ano yung objective ng paper, ano yung main argument ng paper ninyo based on published literature. Okay? Yan ang gagawin ninyo. Para I can guide you through the process on how to write academic paper. Okay? Mag-break time mamaya, no? And then after the break, maybe you have time to show to me your proposed paper or article by group of threes, right? Okay? So Gabriel,
Okay po, sir.
are the others? Is that okay, Clear? Mamaya, So may leader na lang kayong presenter. Mamaya, Mabilisan lang.
Ask ko lang po, ano po uli yung laman dapat ng slides?
Hindi ko ba nasabi sa inyo yun na mag-present kayo?
Wala.
Siyempre yung 6,000 to 10,000 words yun. Single space. Times New Roman, font 12. Including references. Use APA format. Alam niyo na how to write APA format, citation and references, di ba? You can download it online. Give you example. Alam niyo ba gumawa ng paper? Article? Hello? I assume you know already APA format. Iba naman, alam daw nila agad yung mabilis. Do you know? Being taught in senior high school?
Alam naman.
Alam.
Hindi nyo alam? Hello? Alam nyo, anak ko grade 7, tinuruan na sa St. Paul, 8PA format. Kayo, hindi kayo tinuruan?
Tinuruan po.
So alam nyo na, 8PA format.
Yes.
Okay? So any topic on contemporary world may be based on any of the topics in the lectures or readings. Anything contemporary that makes you curious, that you want to do research. No? You use online research. Look for articles, books, relevant to your topic online. Okay? Synthesize them and create new knowledge in your paper. Okay? Parang any paper that you see in online in Google Scholar or in my ResearchGate can give you an example on how papers are written. Okay? So yan ang sample ang gagawin mo. Okay, any question regarding the paper? So, ka na bang inaantok-antok tuloy ako? Hello? May tanong ba kayo?
Sir,
Malapit na naman.
Sir, tanong
Yes.
ko lang po, ano po ulit laman ng slides para sa
Yung
presentation?
working title nyo. Anong title? Objectives and the main argument of your paper. Maybe 1 or 2 sentences. Papers can be a reaction, a misconception, or wrong understanding, or you may affirm or disagree with existing knowledge or misconception, myth or whatever about contemporary life, and then you have a main research question: what, how, why, and then what is your main argument of your paper. Every paper has an argument in one or two sentences probably. Okay? So, yun ang gagawin nyo mamaya. Siyempre, mag-research ka. Hindi term paper to, ay qualitative secondary research paper article. Okay? So, kung gusto nyo maghanap ng sample, hindi punta kayo sa research gate ko. Halos lahat yan, except the books, are academic papers or articles. Okay? May title, may abstract, mga ganun, keywords, house introduction, and then the methodology, that's the methodology you're gonna use. Of course, qualitative secondary analysis or published articles, books, no? Documents online as your sources of data. And then results and discussion. This will now include your main argument of your paper, and then conclusion, then references. Okay, ganun ang basically your content. In 6,000 to 10,000 words. Okay? Hello? Sige, parang humanap ka na lang ng model, maybe in some of my articles or in Google Scholar. Observe how it is done. How is it written? How the paper presentation, and then maybe you imitate the structure and then apply it to your paper. Maybe I can give you a template when you finish your paper, and cut and paste. Ilagay nyo na lang sa template. No? When you are finished with your manuscript. Okay. Revise them. Take care of them like a baby. Para every day you try to edit that, revise, make it perfect. So before the final week, you're ready to present. Maybe in the middle, after 2-3 meetings, you can present to me the progress report. How's your paper? Huh? Maybe 2 meetings from now, karoon ng progress report. Okay? By group. Okay, Gabriela? Maybe next year, maybe January. So you have time to start writing, revising your paper. Okay na? Hello?
Okay po.
Understood.
Yun na yung pinaka-final exam nyo, midterm at final exam. Yun yung kapalit, okay? So yung final group paper na lang. Tapos yung synthesis paper per meeting serves as your quizzes. And then class standing includes your recitation, attendance, participation of our class. Okay, online. Yun ang malaking weight yung final paper and then average of your synthesis paper per meetings. So yun yung basis ng grade ko. You'll be ranked according to the highest and the lowest. Okay, average with the highest, 1.0. Then, if you are delinquent, that's where you're gonna make lower than 2.5 maybe. Okay, this is usually the lowest I can give is 175 if you are regularly doing your requirements and attending the class. Okay, and the highest is 1.0. Any question? Wala na?
Wala.
So, where did we end last time? Then I have two readings ba yung binigay ko sa inyo, and then we have the PowerPoint, no? I think we have to discuss first the PowerPoint to integrate Richard's globalization and Robertson's globalization, no? Itong PowerPoint, and then start reading chapter 2 and 5 of my book. That's introductory readings on economic globalization, how the world was integrated economically, how independent nations with their economies gradually became one economic network, no? How it is united through multilateral agreements led by the US, okay? And the rise of the World Bank, IMF, and WTO in the current global trade, okay? That is focused on intellectual property, okay? Before, the focus is more on physical goods and services. Now, the focus on global trade is the intellectual property or creative ideas behind the production of goods and services. These are the copyright, trademarks, patents, trade secrets, no? Yung mga tinatawag na intellectual property is controlled by the US, or the number one exporter of intellectual property is the US. So may hidden agenda ang US why it created the World Bank, IMF, and WTO, World Trade Organization. No? It's trying to control the world and emerge as a leader in the global economy with nations under the US. Okay? Then the chapter, they have given you chapter 5 on how technology aided expedited the integration of the world from analog up to quantum technology. Okay? As I've said, globalization is not an old concept. It started in the past, in the ancient world, where territories are integrated because of conquest, colonization, and so cultures and territories came integrated and people. Okay, but today, the advent of the internet, the integration becomes very fast, and with the improvement of technology, the sophistication of technology, no, from analog to digital, quantum, nanotechnology of quantum, the world is becoming one small unit and one global village. Okay? Kaya lalong lumiit ang mundo because of technology. Yun ang ugnayan dyan. No? It's technology that is increasing the integration of the world. Okay? And it incorporates economic, social, political, business, trade, and all aspects of society. Kaya mabilis ang pag-ikot ng mundo. It's only COVID-19 that reverses the integration process. But it's now returning because of the gradual slowing down of COVID-19 virus. Okay? So I'll begin with the PowerPoint first. So I give you the overview. And before we go to that in detail, can you project multiculturalism as an effect of this integration of different cultures and because of globalization? Gabriel, can you project? You have any question, clarification?
Ipapa-screen share ko na lang po kayo.
Sige, pag-project na lang ha. Kung may tanong kayo, I appreciate you raise your hand ha. Para medyo Sige, lang. Ilan na ba tayo? 16 na kayo. So, ilan pa ang wala? Can you text them to join us? Kasi we only meet once a month, di ba? Mag-absent pa kayo, wala. Wala na kayo masyadong matutunan kapag lagi may absent. Ha? Tulad ng modular. Wala nang matutunan yung modular kasi wala namang teacher interaction. No? Wala namang modular sa inyo? Lahat kayo ay online? Umbrella, lahat kayo online?
May isa po kaming modular.
Sino? Okay.
Si Karoche po.
So what's his... Ba ang problema niya? Ano siyang internet?
Yun po yung sabi niya sa amin.
Ha?
Yes po.
Saan ba siya nakatira? Pero may internet siya.
Limited.
Saan ba siya nakatira? Walang internet?
Limited daw po.
Oh? Sabihin mo, mag-migrate dito. Sumama na dito. Tsaka mahuli ang grade niyan. Hello? Sabihin mo kung may internet naman siya.
Try ko po sabihan.
Oo, halos lahat na sa online na ngayon eh. Kung kaya naman, maliban kung nakatira ka talaga na walang internet, ay wala tayong magawa. Pero kung nakatira ka naman na meron ka namang internet, sumama ka na dito para mabilis ang grading mo. Ha? Pagkasabi sa kanya. Ha? Wala kang matutunan dyan sa modular dahil wala namang teacher. Ano yan? Supervision. Yan ang based on my research eh. No? O paano mo mag-meet sa teacher niyan? Magsasubmit lang at the end of the semester. Hindi naman alam ng teacher kung siya talaga gumagawa, di ba? Kaya tsaka minsan delay yan, can cause incomplete grade. So, kaya lang o posible ba yung walang internet talaga? Saan ba lugar sa Pilipinas walang internet? Ha? Okay, hello Gabriel, pakisabi
Tapos,
Sige, magsimula na tayo. You will have time. Please raise your hand. I would appreciate para magising naman ako, Oo. Sige. Alam, I'm writing a new book now. You see my newly published book. So I'm writing a new book for Routledge, UK. It's about a sociological study on clerical celibacy in the Catholic Church. This is sociology of religion. So I'm trying to argue that Catholic Church must restore married priesthood. No, that the original teaching of Christ is optional celibacy. If you are not given the gift of celibacy, you should be allowed to be married as a minister. So it's only the Catholic Church that has no there is married priesthood, but not universal married priesthood compared to the Eastern Catholic Church, Orthodox Church, and Protestant churches. Their pastors, their ministers are married. So it's only the Catholic Church that is unique. But based on the biblical teaching of Christ, it is optional celibacy. So you should allow married priesthood. No? It saves a lot of problem like sexual abuse, clerical sexual abuse as a result of the suppression of married priesthood. Because celibacy, being unmarried as a priest, is a special, rare gift from God. It's rare. No, but Christ said if you can take it, okay. But if you cannot, then get married, no, and follow me. So yun ang aking contention, no? And there's much evidence to prove that this clerical sexual abuse, or clerical celibacy, which was imposed in 11th and 20th century in medieval Europe, was not based on the original teaching of Christ. No? So there are all sorts of social construction to make it appear that it is taught by Christ. So, pero it empirically, based on evidence in the Bible, Christ allows two valid callings to become priest, either married priesthood and celibate priesthood. Okay? Some of you are Catholics, right? And you notice the Protestant, Methodist, they're married ministers, only in the Catholic Church. The problem is you have also clerical sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. Scandals, no? Because majority are heterosexual, no? And married priesthood is not allowed. So remember, it's a rare gift ang celibacy. So ibig sabihin, ilan sa mga pari ang kayang mag-celibate. And yet, it becomes universal. It was legislated in 12th century. bawal ang married priesthood. Paano naman yung karamihan na ay heterosexual na it's not for celibacy? So that becomes a problem. No? Kaya karamihan ng clerical sexual abuse ay committed by heterosexual priests. And there's also a problem of gay priests. No? If you don't allow same-sex marriage in the Catholic Church, you will have a problem with their sexuality. How are you gonna deal with them? No? It's a complicated problem, no? Of course, the pedophiles, that's another serious problem. So you have to screen without the pedophile priest and should kick them out from the priesthood if they are caught committing sexual abuse of children. Oh? It's a serious problem. And me, as a sociologist and also trained in theology, trying to use social science in religious matters. No? This is a contemporary issue. Yes, it's a hot issue in the Catholic Church. Pope Francis almost allowed it in the Amazon Synod in Rome in 2020 because of shortage of priests, because of the problem of celibacy. Okay, so I'm currently writing. Maybe hopefully pray that we could finish it by maybe the end of December and have it. It will be peer reviewed, okay, by experts. And by January, we're ready to complete the book and send it for production, hopefully. Okay? I'm telling you this to encourage you to become writers, authors of social sciences or whatever is your chosen field. Okay? We need more writers and authors. So I'm urging my students to, 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 to write, publish. Okay? Okay, is that clear? Hello?
Yes, boss.
So, since my focus is, aside from teaching, is researching online and publishing. Okay, we need to help to bring the Philippines in the center, in the map, academic world publishing. No, karamihan kasi it's dominated by U.S. and European scholars. Yeah, we need also to assert our talents here in the Philippines to write. Okay, so let's proceed to globalization. I presented this to a group of Indonesian and Filipino students and graduate students and faculty, no, in the Indonesian embassy uh, in Makati. So this is relevant in our course because it's trying to understand if there is integration of different people, no, and cultures. What happened to the global culture? What happened to the local culture? So the local culture is now interacting with other cultures in the world. So it results to multiculturalism, different cultures in one location, no? Because of people are moving around, no? Traveling, working, different countries around the world. Because we are now global citizens because of the integration, no? Easier to travel now compared to in the 60s or the older times. There is now relaxing of visas. Just like in ASEAN, you don't need visa but only passports. No, in the European Union, if you are living in Europe, you can move around, you can work around the European Union without visa. No, that will allow you to enter the country. It's only the passport. Okay, so madali magtrabaho at mag, uh, mag-travel because of the opening of borders, countries around the world as a result of globalization. Okay, next slide. Just raise your hand or maybe comment in the chat box, huh? As we go along, okay? That's what my students are doing, okay? Either you raise your hand or write comments, questions in the chat box, okay? Para interactive tayo, ha? Kasi ako tuloy-tuloy lang ako, pero if you ask questions, comments, I will entertain them. Okay? So of course, the first question is, what is globalization? So there are different meanings of globalization, but it really refers to or George Richer, rapidly increasing worldwide integration and interdependence of society and culture. The key word is always increasing integration and interdependence of societies. Okay? So in the slide, another definition is refers to the processes of international integration. Again, the word integration arising from interchange of worldviews, products, ideas, aspects of culture, advances in transportation and telecommunication, the internet are major factors of globalization. It's really a technology-driven globalization, the current age ngayon, okay? Ang bilis ng integration, no? Ang bilis ng uh, unity of different peoples around the world, okay? Okay. So, globalization is shrinking. Parang lumiit, no? Parang pelikula na Honey, I Shrunk My Kids. Parang ganun. Lumiit. Dati kasi, kung walang internet, ang hirap to travel, to gather information, to share goods and services around the globe. You have to walk, you have to travel long distances. Pero ngayon, you just have to click the internet, di ba? With e-commerce, di ba? You can research online, no? Even I'm like myself, I publish without leaving my room using my old laptop, no? So my submit the manuscript online, be reviewed online, and then give it to me, and then revise my manuscript, and then finalize it, and send it to Singapore. And then my publisher in Singapore, once it is finalized, we'll send it to India for production to make it a book. And so after 3 months, the 3 months of putting into template, the book template, my manuscript is sent to me online with the link so I can edit it, proofread it. Then when I approve it, then they will publish it in the ebook form or the hard copy. Then they will send it to Netherlands to be printed there. Okay, so so my book is marketed at libraries around the world, scholars, and me still in the Philippines without without traveling. So that's the wonder of globalization, no? And technology. Can move around, but you are not leaving the space, the seat. Okay? Ganun kabilis. And now after 3 months, I received my copies of my book. Nasa yung libro ko, physical. See, that's the wonder. Ang bilis nga eh. Sinabit ko lang final ng the later of August. Production, ginawa na here. Inalala galing sa Germany. Here's my hard copy book. Aside from the ebook, here's the hard copy of my latest book. Ang bilis. Complimentary copy ko, 3. See, this is printed in Netherlands. Ang bilis na, di ba? That's the wonder of globalization and technology. Hindi mo magawa noon. Ang tagal-tagal na. Dalawang taon siguro without the internet. It's very, very long process. Ngayon, ang bilis lang. August ko lang sinabit yung final manuscript. End of August. Here it is. Here it is. No? Last week, na-receive ko na to. 3 days ago. Ganun. Kabilis. This is my 4th book. And I'm writing a 5th book for Routledge. Springer's the largest scientific publisher in the world. The Springer dates back with Albert Einstein. So meron sila Springer Link, no? Itong Routledge naman is a competitor of Springer. So I'm trying another publisher. Okay? Ganun. Can't imagine this happens without technology, without the internet. Okay? And globalization. Okay? So yun ang epekto ng globalization. Ang bilis. You really need to travel. You go to the libraries, you want to borrow book, you search in the word cat. Have you tried word cat? It's the word catalog of all libraries books around the world. Sino naka-search ng word cat? .com yata, .edu. Have you tried the word cat? Word catalog? Hello?
Hindi pa po, ano po.
So, maghanap ka ng libro. At the nearest library, available yung libro. Punta ka sa wordcat.com, no? Tapos search mo, and lalabas yan. And then it suggest you what library the nearest who has that book, which has that book. Oh, no? So this one, this is already available e-book version in 81 libraries around the world. Okay, it will reach up to 300 probably or more. And then may mga version to na e-book, may print book, may computer files ito, no? And different editions. So, again, globalization and technology makes wonders for integration and shrinking of the world. Okay. Next slide. If you have no question, please comment and write questions if you want. So we have here, I have given you readings, right? On globalization by theories of Robertson, as American sociologist, pioneer theorist on globalization, Roland Robertson. And the other one is George Ritzer. He's also an American sociologist specializing on McDonaldization as a theory on globalization. Okay, have you read that? Hello?
Dati po. Pero,
Hindi nyo nabasa? Please read them. I understand you're millennials. Millennials belong to the postmodern world. You don't who are used to visual data, no? Videos, audiovisual. The modern world, like us, we belong to the modern world. We are more of digital. We are more of print media. Kaya reading. Ang mga kabataan mahilig ng mga TikTok, ng mga social media, yung may nakikita at sounds, podcast, mga ganun. Contemporary media yan. Kaya, ang hirap sabihin mo magbasa kayo, ang hirap talaga i-motivate karamihan ng mga millennials tulad ninyo na magbasa. At I hope you will read the readings. Okay? Hello?
yes po.
Oo ha? Hanapin ko yan sa synthesis paper. Ha? So we have theories on Robertson and George Ritzer on globalization. Anong kaibahan ng dalawang approach? Anyone? The approach of Robertson and the approach of George Ritzer on globalization. Meron ba nagbasa sa inyo? Hello? Hello? Wala kayong recitation?
Hindi ko na po ma-recall.
Sino nakapagbasa? Wala yung message. Wala? Wala. I expect that in your paper, huh?
Sir, pwede po mag-try. Yung Pwede po mag-try sa
Oh,
different
look
school
at
lang.
me.
Sa
So I'm here to
pagkakaalala ko
help
po,
you.
sa pagkakaalala ko
Mm.
po yung kay Reed, sir.
Mm.
Po, about po siya sa liquidity ng change ng
Oh,
era
yes.
sa oras. Tapos kay Roland Robertson po, ang pagkakaintindi ko naman po dito, yung connection naman po sa paggawa ng mga hybrid, yung para magkaroon ng bagong idea. Oh,
Mm.
wait. Ayun po, pagkakaroon ng connection sa ibang bansa, sa mga foreign culture
Oh.
para makabuo ng bagong culture naman, ng bagong change po. Ayun po yung
Mhm.
pagkakaintindi ko. Thank you po.
Diyos ko, kaya nga masanay kayo eh, no? Kaya nga, iba-iba teacher ninyo. In my case, since I'm actively publishing and researching, so try to improve your learning, no? And how to read quickly, skim reading, no? Oo. Of course, I know you're millennials. You like videos, something like that, no? Or visual. But you also need the academic stuff, right? Read articles, books. It also improve your English, right? Oh, the more you use the language, the more you become fluent. And in the age of globalization, you need to be fluent in English or multilingual. Because you'll be touring around the world, right? There are more opportunities to travel and meet people, different cultures. And English is a lingua franca of the world, di ba? American English or British English, you can easily communicate with other people, foreigners. If you don't train yourself here in school, and if you're not training the family on how to speak English, you cannot improve your English, right? That's why there's a hesitation to recite because of the language barrier. Now, it's a time for you to improve by speaking English. Now, if your teachers would encourage you to speak in Tagalog, that's a problem. How will you learn English? How will you use the English language and improve it if you don't speak in English? Much more if you don't read English books and articles. Diba? Now, once you become professional, you automatically you belong to the middle class. And the middle class speaks English generally. The professional class speak in English. Your managers, your CEOs, or they belong to the middle class, they speak in English, di ba? Or if you work in a company, more likely yung top managers or managers mo speak in English because, di ba, you use the English language. Yes, Gabriel, your realization. Yes,
Hindi
how
po sir,
important.
i-notify ko lang po kayo mag-e-end na po yung call in 2
Ah,
minutes because of
how
limit.
many? 2 minutes? Oh, the same link ba? Or you will give another
Different
link?
link po.
Or different link, huh?
Yes.
So again, in the age of globalization, English, I'll cite you an example. There's a graduate of PUP working in Congress, in Congress, Batasan. And magna cum laude, magna cum laude. And according to my teacher, ako co-faculty, the student, he is already working, but he's working with Ateneans, diba? LaSalle graduates, and he cannot speak English fluently. Oh, so it's an embarrassment for PUP. Magna cum laude graduate, hindi marunong mag-speak fluently in English. Eh di, although very intelligent and efficient, pero talo siya sa mga Ateneo graduates LaSalle kasi magaling mag-English because they belong to the class. It's about to end na. O sige, I will continue. Sige, we'll leave this one. Can you project again, ha, Gabriel? Okay, let's leave now and go to the next link.
Okay.
Are we complete? Not yet. Yeah, 16, 15. Sige, enter now. Oh, may klase ako. Okay. Sandali lang. Wait, wait. Okay. Are we complete now, Gabriel?
Ano po, sir?
Bumalik na lahat?
Okay na po.
Di ba? Okay? Let me continue. 16 lang kayo.
Yes po, 16 na po.
Ako pang 17. Kanina ba 17 tayo lahat? O may hindi nakabalik?
17
Inote mo rin Gabriel ha, per session ha, hindi bumalik.
Yes po.
O kung dalawa, tatlong session tayo, kung hindi siya bumalik without giving you reason, absent siya sa second session. Okay? O whatever session na hindi siya nag-attend. Okay? Unless may technical problem telling you na merong ganito. Beforehand ha? Hindi after the session siya magsabi. Okay na? Hello?
Okay po.
$18, 17. Oh, may 17 na.
Opo.
Meron pa?
Okay na po.
Hello?
Di pa ba ako rinig? Hello.
Okay na? Start tayo?
Start
Pareho na?
po. Okay na.
Kabalik na? So again, I reiterated the importance of English. And sad to say, sa PUP, karamihan ng faculty, di ba, i-encourage na mag-Tagalog. E paano yan? How you improve your English? You speak Tagalog at home. Di ba? Every day you speak in Tagalog. You speak English. And yet, when you graduate, you belong to the middle class and meet people in the middle class, upper classes, professional class, who speak in English generally, socialize their children in English. You notice professionals speak their children in English and then send them in Catholic school. They speak in English. And so it's easy for them to speak in English. Just like to my son, I speak in English in order that he will be fluent in English. See, he can easily speak in English. Since preschool speaks in English, but he speaks also in Tagalog. So bilingual. Okay? But kung English is class-based, which when belongs to particular social class. English spoken in middle class and upper class. Okay, and the lower classes speak in the vernacular. No? Kaya it's really a chance for you to improve your English by reading English materials, books, articles. That's what I'm asking you to read. No? To improve your vocabulary. And you recite in English to improve your English. Okay? May mga teacher kasi na speak in Tagalog. They can't speak in English but they speak in Tagalog. So how will you learn speaking the language fluently if your teachers are also not speaking in English? Always in Tagalog. Huh? Any question? Reaction? To avoid embarrassment. Oh, you will be promoted. For instance, top manager, you speak in English with your suppliers abroad, you speak in English. Diba? In the age of globalization, you have this always multinational companies, or your company become global and multinational, and so you are forced to speak in English, improve in English. Okay? Hello? Any reaction? Kaya you try yourself. Read the readings in English to improve your English. Okay? Speaking skills and writing skills. Hello? Are you there?
Yes po, sir.
Ba't ayaw kayo magsalita? Any thoughts? Sa kabilang section, daldal ng daldal. Sulat ng sulat sa comments. Tanong ng tanong. Opposite naman yata kayo. Oh, wala man lang insights, questions, clarifications. So I will know that you absorb some of these insights. Does it make sense? I will proceed. Walang tanong? Anong course nyo, Iho? Gabriel, anong course ninyo? Education?
Applied mathematics po.
Math. Kaya pala, maraming head person sa inyo, nag-iisip. No? Karamihan kasi pag-math kasi, analytical, nag-iisip lagi. No? Kaya siguro hindi kayo madaldal. Tulad ng ibang estudyante ko sa psychology, madaldal. Or some many courses this semester. O Mascom, naku. Punong-puno ang chat ko ng mga tanong at nag-react sila, nag-raise ng hand. Okay. So anyway, iba kasing discipline ang math kasi is analytical. Siguro kayo nag-iisip lagi. Sige. Anyway, sige, I will proceed So, I will assume you are listening, taking down notes Lalabas yan sa synthesis paper. Hanapin ko yung mga insights na yan. So, we have here Globalization by Roland Robertson. No? The theory on globalization is recent, no? Especially with the invention of the internet, lumalabas nitong globalization theories. At si Robertson ay has a particular theory on globalization. For him, globalization is a two-way traffic. Unlike Richer, it's a one-way traffic. Kay Robertson, it's an interaction of global and local cultures. So globalization is an integration of global and local. So the local interacts with the global and the global interacts with the local. So the local culture is influencing the global culture and the global culture is also affecting the local culture. Okay? Kay Richer, it's the opposite. So Richer, it's the global that is influencing the local. No? It's imperialism, cultural imperialism for him. So in globalization, it's one dominant culture that's controlling the local cultures around the world. Ayan kanyang basic theory on globalization. Colonization of cultures or homogenization of culture. Yan ang kanyang tawag sa globalization. Okay? Like Americanization, McDonaldization of cultures. Because McDonald's is an American company that is promoting American culture. And so all McDonald's in the world are bringing with them the global American culture, influencing people around the globe. Okay? And so influencing business. Okay? Ayan ang kanyang McDonaldization. Ang McDonaldization process is a rationalization process. No? Where other companies imitate McDonald's in developing countries. Ano yung elements ng McDonaldization for Richer? There is calculability, in doing business. If you enter McDonald's, meron ng calculability, mabilis. There's also, it's easier to calculate how much you're gonna pay for your meal. May mga combo meals, may prices na makikita mo, di ba? So more or less, you can calculate already how much you pay. That's a contemporary way of doing business, like McDonald's. You go the traditional way. You go to Carinderia. It's irrational, difficult to calculate. No? Walang price tag. Bubuksan mo, natanong mo pa, kukumpute pa ng waitress o may-ari ng karinderya. That's traditional. McDonaldization is efficient, rational. Isang element ng McDonaldization, as you can see in McDonald's, is calculability. It's very fast transaction. Kasi alam mo na magkano presyo niyan, magkano burger. Diba? Breakfast ka, alam mo na nakalagay ng presyo eh. Punta ka sa karindire, wala yan. Pangalawa, merong efficiency. Very efficient. No? There's fast speed in transaction. Diba? Very efficient. Meron ng drive-thru. Ang bilis kung gusto mo nagmamadali with your car. No? Tapos yung mga crew, alam nila. Diba? Mabilis. Mabilis ang pag-order. Nandiyan na agad. Diba? McDonald's, yun mo. Minsan, touchscreen na. Tapos magbayad ka na agad. No? Very efficient procedures. Now serving. Tapos, yan na, di ba? Kunin mo na yung may number na. Very efficient. The other companies are also imitating McDonald's. Even in school, like PUP, meron na lang tayong enrollment, registration, mukhang McDonaldized na, di ba? You need to go to PUP and just enroll online. Di ba? Ano? So, yung influence of McDonald's. There's also predictability. That's another, predictability. Predictable system ang McDonald's system. Hindi ka mag-isip. Alam mo na, if you go to McDonald's, you already the products more or less they sell. Yung burgers, ganyan, di ba? Predictable. Lahat ng McDonald's, kung makita ang McDonald's store, they sell the same product. You don't need to think, what is the product sold in this particular branch? No. It saves time. It's predictable. How people, the crew will speak is predictable. Meron silang script na sinasabi. Diba? Okay. Saves time. Time is money. In capitalism, that's money. Another aspect of McDonaldization. Yan sa McDonald's, may mga timer, may mga touchscreen, mag-order ka, bago na nga yun, hindi nagdagan na nila yan. To save time, no? They use the latest technology. Kaya nga sa PUP, gano'n na nga, mga bangko, meeting doon, naka-computerized na rin lahat yan, naka-digitalize, etc. Very fast transaction. Meron silang mga products, offerings, predictable from one bank over another. They are imitating McDonald's, okay? The American way of doing business. Hello? So, for Richard, globalization is imposing one dominant culture over different cultures around the globe. Example is McDonaldization. It's propagating American culture. American way of doing business. Okay? Any question?
Sir.
Yes.
Yung would you say would you say po ba sir na that the McDonaldization of businesses is solely based on profits, or there are other things that like catering to the audiences, or is it all based on profits po ba? For you
Of
po?
course, capitalism is an economic system based on profit. That's capitalism. Originates in the US, UK, and US, capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system based on profit. And the opposite that is socialism. Economic system based on social use. Diba? Like communist countries, they are socialist. It's the state control the industries. So production of goods is not meant for profit sa socialism. No? Katulad ng Russia noon under communism and Latin American countries, di ba? China, ay kaya capitalist na rin China, di ba? Before China became capitalist, socialist pa rin basically. Ito si Xi Jinping is returning to the old socialism na ayaw nila ng capitalism na sobra na the billionaires control China. Kaya may tendency si Xi Jinping na babalik eh. Kasi yun ang socialist talaga ang China. No? But they realize that there is no competition because it's the state to control the production of goods. Kaya nag-stagnate ang ekonomiya ng China. No? In the 80s. No? Ni Mao Zedong, di ba? He realizes poverty because of socialism. Kasi walang profit, walang controlled by the state ang economy. Kaya they open up and shift to capitalism, profit-oriented. No? So there's private ownership, not the state controlling the economy. So ang tanong mo, profit-oriented, yes, kasi we are in a capitalist society and the US is capitalist. Okay? Kaya ito nga, McDonald's cannot enter in a socialist country probably kasi profit-oriented, di ba? Dati hindi inalaw yan sa Vietnam, sa communist before. Now shifting to capitalist ang Vietnam. Nakapasok ng Jollibee, McDonald's dyan. No? There's an experiment now in China and Vietnam actually that it combines socialism as and capitalism, no? To some extent with the political system of communism. May combination na major industry still owned by the state pero yung private industry businesses, they allow the private sector to own and earn profit. Hello?
Yes po, sir.
Clear yan? Kaya
Yes.
obviously, ito McDonald's profit-oriented. Kaya pumapasok yan, siyempre in capitalist countries like the Philippines. No? Halos lahat na nga, nagsishift na kaya China, Vietnam, mga communist talaga to eh. Communist, no? O, tapos bumagsak na rin yung communism in Europe in 1981 o 1891, di ba? O, Berlin Wall, di ba? Bumagsak. So, capitalism na ngayon ang dominant, no? Economic system. Okay? So, did I answer your question? So, ngayon ang McDonaldization is an conveyor of American capitalism. Profit-oriented nila America. Look at the CNN and all this, the news. Lagi COVID pinakakitaan lahat yan. Mga gamot. Lahat. Profit-oriented. Pinakakitaan lahat. Yun ang that is the negative aspect of US capitalism, no? Yung economic system ng US. Profit. Lahat pinakakitaan. Democrats, pera. COVID-19, pinakitaan ng Big Pharma. No? Vaccines are being exploited for profit. Kasi gano'n nga ang capitalist system kasi ang US eh. May neoliberalism, capitalism pa. Neoliberal. Ganun din yun. The main concept of capitalism is non-interference of the state in the economy and businesses. Dapat daw, wag daw pakialaman ng Estado ang ekonomiya at market. Pero ang problema, without state intervention, how will you protect the common good of the people, especially the poor? Yun ang turo ng Catholic Church dun. That's why there should be state intervention, regulation of the economy. Pero if you totally regulate it, maging socialism. So dapat balance lang, no? Ang intervention. Kaya may mga monopoly, corruption, exploitation, high price in the market, that's where the state regulation should interfere to protect public interest. Ayan. Ang neoliberalism o yung capitalism ng US, ayaw nilang ganyan. Gusto nilang hayaan ang mga kapitalista to exploit the market. No? Okay? So yan ang concept ng may positive freedom, human rights sa capitalism, pero there's a negative aspect naman ng profit-oriented ang capitalism, no? At the expense of the poor. Okay, yan ang kay Richard, American socialist concept niya, na parang cultural imperialism. Na halimbawa, ang internet was invented by the Americans. And so the more you use the internet, the more you are Americanized. So it's an imposition, no? It's of the American culture to people who use the internet. Diba? Yun ang dyan. You expose. O sabi nga ng Russia, itong mga LGBT daw ay galing daw sa US. Yung promotion, nasupraan daw. Yung sabi ni Putin at ng mga legislature ng Russia, kaya niregulate nila naging anti-LGBT tuloy. Diba? Kasi pinopromote nga din naman ng US, totoo naman, CNN, lahat dyan. No? Oo. Ayan, that's American values. They promote rights. Oh. Ayan. So, tayo din sa Pilipinas, the more you use it, ganun din yung magiging mentality mo. You can't avoid it. Okay? Of course, you have to respect people's rights, no? People's sexual orientation. Okay? Pero may mga repressive countries na ayaw nilang ganyan. Ang Middle East na, they repress homosexuality. So it's difficult to live in these countries if you're homosexuals because they are being criminalized pa. They're being repressed. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes po.
Tapos, since the American invented the internet, it uses American English. Diba? American English. Oh. So if you're anti-American, actually, if you look at it closely, bakit ka gumagamit ng internet? That's American invention. Diba? If you're strictly an activist, an anti-American, you should not use the internet. Kasi nga, it's the Americans who invented the internet. Diba? For military purposes and then for research purposes of universities. Oh, diba? Ironic yun. Anti-American ka pero gumagamit ka ng internet, your cell phone. You can't avoid today to be multicultural. To be open to different cultures once you are exposed in the internet. Diba? Kaya ang sabi naman ni Robertson, hindi pwedeng imposition ng isang global culture to different cultures around the world. Sa kanya, dialogue. Kasi the effect of globalization has two sides. Di ba? Parang Janus-based coin with two sides. The global and the local. So, hindi lang American culture yan. Other cultures also influence American culture at the same time. So, global and local. So, he coined the word globalization. Globalization for Robertson is glocalization. It's a dialogue between the global culture and the local culture. How is it manifested? Look at McDonald's. It's glocalization. It's an American culture, ng McDonald's, pero it customized its product to the local culture. Diba? Example, rice meal. Wala namang rice meal sa American McDonald's talaga. They use bread, diba? They eat bread. But they cannot sell it well in Asian countries who use rice. So they have to customize. They adapt the global product to the local product, culture, and taste. Kaya glocalization. From global, naging local siya. From bread, naging rice. Longganisa. Instead of bread and butter, naging longganisa meal. Diba? Oh. Okay? Global na yung local. Halimbawa, rap music sa US, Europe. Pagdating sa Pilipinas, babaguhin ng ating local rap artist. No? So, localized na siya. Okay? Being adapted to, like for example, you translate it, you are already localizing the music. Di ba? You are localizing the global to local. Once you translate yung mga telenovela, translate mo, nilocalize mo na siya. Ay, localization. Okay? Now, pwede niyang local will influence the global. Si dialogue nga for Robertson. Example, Philippine adobo, maging American adobo, Japanese adobo, Korean adobo, magkaroon ng slight difference yung mixture ng ng adobo. No? Siguro maanghang ang Indian adobo. Pero it can come from Filipino adobo originally, but become global. Okay? Balikbayan box used to be term used for Filipinos for their gifts, no, to the Philippines. Now, balikbayan box is now incorporated in the Oxford Dictionary. It becomes global. Okay, and other people are using also the box for their gifts. So, yan ang example ng local naging global. Okay? Hello?
Hello po.
Clear?
Yes po.
Oh, di ba? If you look around now, lahat ng mga brand na mapagkain, ng damit, ng mga sasakyan, all of them come from different countries. We are now living in the global age. Dati-rati hindi ganun, bihira lang, buy your own product. The 60s, puro Pilipino na makikita mo, mga damit made in the Philippines, mga gamit, no? Pero ngayon, halos lahat makikita mo, made from different countries around the globe. Ito, pinadala ng damit ng kapatid ko sa Canada. Ito yata. O titingnan mo. Ginawa pala galing sa Bangladesh o Sri Lanka. Tapos, in-export doon sa Canada. Binibenta sa Canada. Akala mo Canada talaga, pero yun pala ginawa sa developing countries. Yung Nike, di ba? Ginagawa, saan in-assemble yan? Yung Apple, iPhone sa China, hindi assemble yan. Made in China, assembled, made in California, assembled in China. See? That's how globalization works. Sa mga parte ng sasakyan, mga parts, Toyota, hindi lang lahat sa Toyota yan. Ginagawa yung ibang parte ng sasakyan, and technologies from different countries. Di ba? Yung chip ng sasakyan, kaya nga, ang hirap mag-order ng bagong sasakyan kayo, nagkakaroon ng shortage ng chips para sa sasakyan because they come from other countries like Taiwan. Hindi lahat sa Japan yan. No? Ina-assemble lang. Sa Japan, yung Toyota, o sa Thailand, Ford, but components come from different countries. Example of globalization yan. No? Dati-rati, isang bansa lang gumawa ng isang product, ngayon hindi. Lalo na technology. It's a whole range of product components from different countries. Okay? Okay, so localization kay Robertson. Now, tanong, sir, sino yung tama sa kanila? It will depend sa research mo. If your research of the data shows cultural imperialism, imposition of one dominant country like American culture, then use the theory of reserve. But if it shows there is customization, there is borrowing, there is a hybridization of culture between local and global, use Robertson's theory in your research. Okay? Kuha ka ng paper dito halimbawa for your group research, maghanap ka ng, if you use the idea of localization, then maghanap ka dito sa Pilipinas, product or services na combines the local and the global. Diba? That can be interesting. No? Your paper, the research online to argue that this is a case of global localization. Okay, what particular product or services na pinakombine na. Okay, next slide. Kung wala kayong tanong.
Sir,
Yes.
may tanong po ako about sa localization po.
Yes.
Does does the localization po ba ng ng global yung global consciousness is para sa products lang po or does it expand to other things
Yeah,
like
meron
culture and
dyan.
tradition?
Awareness. Oo, meron. Think global, act local. Meron dyan. Diba? Oo. Sa product ang localization, anything. Can be beliefs, can be values. O basta nag-combine ka ng something that is global and something local. Yes. Even laws. Laws undergoes localization. You have global laws. You have the American laws on intellectual property. Tapos pagdating sa Pilipinas, ina-adapt yan, no, na local legal system. So magkaroon ng hybridization yan kasi magkaroon ng localization of laws, combining the local and the global. So American laws, halimbawa, itong American copyright ng trade-related aspects of intellectual property. Galing yan sa US, sa General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, if you read Chapter 2. In-impose ng US yan sa developing countries to protect American intellectual property from piracy. So, this is an example of, richer also is true for this imposition of foreign laws. Pero in some case, ang American, halimbawa, American copyright is also adopted in the Philippines. Our Congress is also enacting laws in accordance with the American law. So, merong localization ng batas, no? Nagko-combine siya. So, hindi lang product ito. Can be values, beliefs, no? Laws. Basta nag-combine ng dalawa. Global and local. Okay? Did I answer your question? Hello?
Yes po. Thank you po.
Almost all aspect yan. Subject to research. Baka may na-encounter ka na and try to see if proversion is correct. There's dialogue in globalization. Or richer, there is imposition of global to the local. Depende sa research area yung investigahan mo, ha? And then apply the theory. The theory interprets your data. That's the purpose in research. So the data is the king. It determines what kind of theory to interpret the data. Dapat mag-complement yung dalawa, yung theory mo, interpretation, and then the data, they jive with one another. Yan ang good research. Okay? So, flexible ito. Kung ano yung theory gamitin mo. Yes, Gabriel?
Meron lang po akong i-share na parang realization po
Oo.
dito sa ano. Yung globalization po, bale, yung pagkaintindi ko po, nagme-minimize po siya ng culture shock. Like, kapag yung lumilipat ka ng ibang bansa, then magugulat ka bakit parang nag-iba yung parang nagiging experience mo doon. Kunyari po, yung isang experience ko po, pumunta po ako Hong Kong nung 7 years ago. Pag pupunta po kami ng fast food, like kunyari sa KFC, wala po siyang rice doon. Yun. Pero dahil po sa globalization or customization, yun po yung parang nagiging reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng culture shock. Kasi kapag same lang po yung, kunyari, kung KFC po, like same siya sa lahat ng ng countries, like yun po talaga yung tunay na globalization. Ganun po yung pagkaintindi ko.
So depende nga din. Kasi kung may interaction between global and local cultures, in your experience, then localization siya. Kung sa tingin mo may imposition, and that, halimbawa, in-impose ng American culture sa local culture, then you can use richer of colonization of culture, no? Kino-colonize niya, kino-control. So, depende nga sa experience mo. Kaya nga, if you learn this, if you understand the theories, you will understand your experience today. You will not be shocked. Tama, you'll be shocked. Ganun nga kasi may globalization, mayroong interaction, no? Hybridization of culture. Di ka na masyak kung if you learn these theories na that will guide your experience. Okay? Pero kung hindi ka nag-aaral ng contemporary world or globalization, you might be shocked. Yeah, culture shock when you encounter cultural experience totally different from yours. Kung wala kang education, you're not being taught about this, magkakaroon ka ng culture shock. You can't understand because you don't have the necessary theory in your mind to interpret your experience. Yeah. Right? Sana this will broaden your mind. Kasi pag-aralan mo, ganito na nga. Even mathematics can be, di ba? You learn it from other culture. Ito mathematics, di ba? Yung mga theories na yan, galing naman sa European, from the Greeks, di ba? Hanggang napunta sa atin ngayon. So that's something global coming to local, adjusted to the local. No? O pwede rin sabihin mo na imposition itong mathematical theories from the Western world, Western culture to the Philippine culture. Di ba? Mhm. Sige, next slide. Hindi tagalan tayo dito pero I'll give you the context. So, effect ng globalization to culture. So, you have to think globally but act locally. Ganun na nga. Kaya, think globally. Kaya if you think of a Filipino today, don't think of a Filipino na nakabahag, Maria Clara. That's the old concept already. That's already in the modern world. No? We are not postmodern, contemporary. Don't say that because you are patronizing foreign cultures and products, you are less Filipino. Diba? Yung mga ibang kaibigan nating aktivista ay anti-American, anti-foreign. Diba? Is bad for the Filipinos. Oh, come on, that's the old theory. In the age of globalization, whether like it or not, you are exposed to foreign cultures, not just the Filipino culture. You start with your language. You speak different languages. Will not make you less Filipino. Because think globally and your identity is global nowadays. Pero of course you retain your core identity as Filipino. But you can be influenced by different cultures. Halimbawa, K-pop fan ka, avid o rabid fan ng mga K-pop, o di Korean culture karamihan ang influensya sa'yo. Will that make you less Filipino? Pagkain, Korean, BTS, music, lahat yan. May mga ano pa sila, fundraising. O, just imagine this K-pop phenomenon, di ba? Bumisita ang daming fans, di ba? O, will that make you less Filipino? Because you patronize Korean culture? You can't avoid it. They are now in an open system and culture because of globalization. And it can influence your mind. Any identity, no? Iba-iba na yan. Kaya nga, hindi pwedeng think locally, act locally lang. Di ba? Yung nativist perspective, sabi ni Dr. Castro, anthropologist ng UP, yung mga nativist perspective na act like a native, think like a native, dress like a native, yun daw ang original Filipino. Aba, obsolete na yan. Kasi you can't retain it. What will you do not to be influenced by foreign cultures? Go to the mountain, isolate yourself. Now you have been cell phone, almost all people have cell phones with internet. And so you're exposed to different cultures. So you can't avoid foreign influence into your identity, to your lifestyle, di ba? Kaya Filipino ka ngayon pero iba-ibang kultura na yung composition ng isip mo, ang values mo, lifestyle. Kaya nga, papunta na ng global identity. Mawawala unti-unti yung pagka-Pinoy mo, but you are a global citizen na nga. Kasi you can go around the world, interact with people because you already belong to one global village na nga eh. Ang unit of political unit mo na ay ang globe na mismo, hindi na ang Philippines by country. Today, yes. Okay? Think globally. You can act locally because you are still living in your own country. So you can't avoid being influenced by foreign culture. Okay? So, ayan. Next slide. So ito yung pinaka-basic. What is culture? If we live in globalization, we're living in multicultural system. Maraming cultures. Pero ano nga ba ang kultura? So you see the concept of culture is also abstract and very broad, no? And the first classic modern definition is by Edward Taylor. Edward Taylor is an English anthropologist. Now he looks at culture as a whole. Anything that you learn in society is part of culture. It's really broad, no? The word culture. Kultur in German is is the root word of culture. Kultur. Kultur. Yan. If you look at it, the components of culture in the slides, ang dami pala. Anything that you learn in a particular society is culture. The window of culture is language. Ayan ang sinasabi nila. The window of culture is language. If you know the language, you more or less you are looking into the culture of the place. Di ba, part of the naturalized citizenship is knowing the language of the place or the country that you apply for naturalization. Di ba? Halimbawa, foreigner ka, you want to become a Filipino, dapat you learn the major languages in the Philippines, like English, di ba? O Tagalog, Filipino, o, di ba? Kaya matuto ka ng local languages and culture. Okay? Because, kung tingnan mo, kung matuto ka na ng Tagalog, more or less, alam mo ang kultura ng Pinoy, no? Kung Filipino. Kung punta kang Amerika, you know American English, then you are more or less knows the American culture. Okay? So language is the window of the culture. It also includes medical cure, indigenous cultural understanding, di ba? Ethnomedicine ang tawag niyan, no? Against biomedicine of doctors. So we have SUOB against COVID. COVID virus is a local medical cure. That's cultural. Mga albularyo, cultural yan, di ba? Religion is part of culture. Child rearing, pagpapalaki ng anak, is part of culture. Di ba? Sabi nga nila, ang pagpapalaki ng lower class ay kaiba sa middle class. No, kung you belong to the poor family, iba ang upbringing mo. Ang upbringing daw, ang general upbringing ng mga mahihirap ay discipline the child, compliance to the rules. Ganoon na yung trend ng pagpapalaki ng mga working class. Dahil yung mga magulang nila, parents, are used to follow rules in the company or where they are employed. Di ba? Di ba karamihan mahihirap, nagtatrabaho, di sumusunod sila lagi sa utos ng supervisor o manager. Doon din ay naipasa sa mga anak, pag ginaling pagpalaki ay follow the rules ang mga anak nila. Tulad din na experience nila. Yan ang general trend sa research. Pero yung mga middle class, karamihan sa kanila ay mga manager, may-ari ng kumpanya, iba yung pagpapalaki nila kasi sila ang nag-uutos Di ba? Give orders to their workers. So, ang pagpapalaki ng kanilang mga anak, not more on compliance, but creativity, flexibility, di ba? With the rules, di ba? Ganun. Iba yung kanilang tingnan mo siguro kung ikumpara ko sa mga estudyante ko sa PUP at Ateneo, makikita mo yung kaibahan because of cultural rearing methods, papalaki, no? Flexibility ang focus nila, pero sa mga working class, discipline, compliance, palo kapag hindi sumunod. Ganun ang papalaki. Okay? Is that clear? Cultural yan. Okay? The high culture of the rich, the low culture of the poor. Pop culture belongs to the working class culture. No? Magkakaiba yan. Mali ba yan? No. You cannot compare. Its culture is as valid as the other. Magkaiba nga lang. Di ba? But there's no superiority in social science. There's no superiority of culture. Every culture is as valid as the other. We call it as cultural relativism. Okay? Sa social science. Kasi yung iba sabihin, ay, ibig sabihin, inferior kami kasi nasa working class kami. Ang kultura namin, hindi. Kakaiba nga lang, hindi pareho dun sa middle class or upper class. Because material conditions in life affect your behavior. That's why you have social classes in society. Food is also cultural. Na pagkain, kinakain mo would determine where you come from, what culture. Di ba? Kung spicy, saan kang ang kultura ka? Indian ka ba? Or Philippines? Or maybe from Bicol? Depende on food, no? That's why it's also part of culture is food. Folk arts, ayan, different arts, local arts, dance, etc. Di ba? Then celebrations, ayan, fiesta for Christian culture, jokes. Minsan cultural yan, di ka natawa. Pero na other people, the locals would laugh. So that is cultural. Manners, dress, clothes, and work schedules. No? Yung mga Filipino time is cultural. Okay? Any question on this slide?
Wala po.
Okay, clear ha? Pero look at it, culture is a way of life. Yun ang tingin ng social science. Hindi siya kasi yung wrong notion of culture is knowledge of the arts, no? Social etiquette, yung mga ganon, appreciation of the paintings. Hindi ganon yun. That's the culture of the rich, high culture of the rich. Pero ang culture is a way of life. If you live in a tribal society, that is as valid as living in urban culture. Pareho lang din yan. Kakaiba nga lang. Di ba? That's how social scientists, anthropologists look at culture. No? So they study culture and see the differences, compare them, but they are unique. No? Each culture is unique. And it includes material and non-material components. Kaya napaka-broad eh. Material lahat yan, architecture, di ba? Transportation, paintings, lahat, anything material is culture. Also non-material components like beliefs, values, di ba? Norms, laws, there are non-material components of culture. Okay? Ethnicity is a type of culture. Ethnicity refers to the same cultural heritage and language. Subculture na yan. No? Halimbawa, you have the 100 more than 140 ethnic groups in the Philippines, but they all belong to the Filipino culture. The Maranao speak in Maranao, and they have a different Muslim tradition. Maguindanao, di ba? You have the Tagalogs, the Visayans, the Bicol, Pampanga, Kapampangan, lahat yan. They are called ethnic groups, ethnicity, subcultures. Yan, okay? Part of a bigger national culture. Okay, almost 10 minutes na daw. Yes, Ivan, you raise your hand before we...
Sir, sabi diyan po 'di ba, culture is as a way of life. Does that mean po ba na culture is always subject for a change dahil a way of life is different
Yes,
from people to people?
yes. Cultural traits, yeah. It's always evolving. Yes, there's no fixed culture. It's always evolving and interacting with other culture. Ang tawag niyan ay cultural diffusion ng cultural traits as spread in society and influencing other culture. Well, hindi naka-fix nga eh. Tulad ng Filipino culture ngayon compared in the 60s, 70s. Ang laki ng diferensya, di ba? Noon walang internet. Look at today. Look at Filipino culture today. Very diverse. Hybrid. Halo-halo na. Kaya nga hindi naka-fix eh. Lalo na if you migrate or there is migration, it interacts with other culture. Kaya nga multicultural na eh. One place, multicultural. Sa Pilipinas, tingnan mo. Yung mga estudyante, may mga Iranian, may mga Indian, di ba? Halo-halo na. Multicultural. Dito sa sa may SM, di ba, meron yung mga misa. Huh? Oo, yung kondo dyan. Nag-aaral dyan sa UARM Medicine. Iba-ibang lahi nandyan. Oo. Sa ano yan? Multicultural na yung lugar na yan kasi iba-ibang students coming from different cultures. Oo. So you have to understand them according to their culture. Oo. So tama, hindi static ang culture. It's evolving. Historical, nagbabago. Panahon ni Rizal iba na ngayon. Halimbawa, clothes, iba na kasuotan nila noon. Ngayon, iba na rin ang kasuotan ng mga Pinoy. Pero they are all Filipinos. Okay, tama? Did I answer your question?
Yes po.
Walang fixed culture. Siguro yung mga kaibigan nating aktivista na gumagamit pa rin ng nativist perspectives na static ang culture ang tingin nila. Yung concept nila ng barot saya at yun daw ang tunay na Pilipino. Hindi na. Iba na ngayon. Nagbago na ang Filipino culture. No? Kasi nga of interaction, influence of the internet and other cultures through the internet, nagbabago siya. Kaya kayo din, tumingin ng kultura, it should be subject to research, nagbabago na eh. So don't be fixed in one concept ng culture. Baka nung 70s pa yan, 60s, 80s, 90s, iba na ngayon sa 2020s, iba na ang kultura. Kaya nga ang tulong ng social science to research eh. Diba? Pure pa ba tayo ngayon or impure or localized na? Oo. Diba? So we should be open. Kaya nga, luma na yung teorya na nativist culture. Huwag kang magsalita ng English o foreign. Ay, panahon ni Renato Constantino, yung mga libro niya. Noong panahon pa yan, modernist. Pero ngayon, globalist na tayo. Open. Ang tanong kasi dyan, how will you maintain your Filipino core despite all this foreign cultural influence? Yun ang tanong dyan. What is the core of Filipino identity? Yun ang dyan, tatanungin mo. Kasi ang daming ang influences to your identity as Filipino in today's globalized world. Okay? Ang hirap, no? Subject to research. Meron pa rin core na Pilipino ka. Pag pumunta ka sa abroad, ay Pinoy yan. Alam ba, pagkain, mahilig sa patis ang bagoong, ay Pinoy yan. Di ba? Nakain ka ng restaurant sa abroad. Uy, gumagamit ng patis ang bagoong. O baka Pinoy yan. Di Pinoy nga. May pattern ng Pilipino yung ganito. May core pa rin yan. Values ng Pinoy. Di ba? Oo. Whatever, you research, ano kayang core pa na will differentiate us from foreigners, from Indonesian, Thais, Japanese, Chinese, halos magkapare pa naman, we belong to yellow race, di ba? O Mongoloid race tayo, Asian. Pero meron pa rin yung core identity mo na Pinoy ka. Okay? Tulad ng patis ang bagoong, uniquely Filipino daw yan eh. So, kung may makita ka sa abroad, kung gumagamit na ganyan, mag-request, baka Pinoy nga yan. Di ba? Ayan. Po, anpo, paminsan nagbabago din yan. Sa mga Bisayan, sino gumagamit ng po, anpo. So, hindi naman totally, Filipino, pwede yung marami ethnic groups na hindi gumagamit ng po, anpo. Tagalogs lang yun, among the Tagalogs. Kaya ang daming diversity sa Pilipinas because of ethnicity. Kaya mahirap ni equate yung Filipino culture to Tagalog culture. Dahil nilipat ni Legazpi ang capital from Cebu to Manila. Kaya nagiging lingua franca tuloy ng Filipino language ay Tagalog. Ay, mali din yun. Remember, 140 ethnic groups in the Philippines speaking different languages and dialects. So bias ka pag sabihin mo Tagalog lang. Eh, paano yung more than 100 speaking different dialects and languages? Di ba? O di ethnocentric ka. Sarili mo lang iniisip mo. Kaya ang hirap pag sabihin mo Filipino language, ano ang structure ng Filipino language? Tagalog? Wala naman sinabi ang Constitution na Filipino language. Ideal lang yun. Pero walang Filipino language existing. And currently it uses the structure of Tagalog language, which other people disagree. Diba? Hello? Naniniwala kayo? Hello? Wala talagang Filipino language. Ideal lang yun. Diba sinabi ng Constitution, Filipino language ang national language ng Philippines? Pero ang kadalasan, in-equate nila sa Tagalog language. Eh, hindi naman yan ang sinasabi ng Constitution. Kaya nga walang visible language itong Filipino language. Pag in-equate mo sa Tagalog, eh well, bias, the Visayans will disagree. No? Okay? Oy, matapos na ba tayo? Hello? Next slide.
Sir, mag-e-end na po yung call in 3
Oh.
minutes.
Okay. Ako, tapusin na natin sa slide, ha? Kumain na ba kayo? Do we have a short break? Hanggang kailan tayo, Gabriel? Hanggang anong oras pwede tayo?
According sa schedule po
Hanggang?
is 12:30.
Hindi, hanggang, ang oras, ang schedule natin sa klase, hanggang anong oras? 1:30? Hello?
Ang sabi niyo po dati is hanggang 12:30 lang po. Pero since late po tayo nag-start,
Pwede pa tayong 2 o'clock? Hanggang 2 para may break tayo? Short? Dance break?
mga ilang minutes po yun.
May klase ba kayo?
Wala naman
2 o'clock?
po.
Sige, mag-break muna tayo para hindi tayo, balik tayo ng 1:30 up to 1 hour siguro. Kaya pa siguro. Kaya nyo pa? Matapos lang itong
Pwede
slides.
naman.
O 15 minutes lang. Kakain na kayo. Kaya ba natin? 1:15, balik tayo. Ha?
1:15. Sige po.
O sige ha, kain muna kayo ha. Tapos balik kayo ha. 1:15 ha. O sige. Let's just finish this slide. Para wala na time mag-present kayo ng nyo ha. Well, maybe. Tingnan natin ha. Okay. So let's leave 1:15. Let's go back. The same link or different link?
Different link na po.
O sige. Bye-bye.
Sige
Short
po.
break. 15 minutes, 1:15 ang balik ha. Take your lunch. Okay.
Salamat po.
Fuck!
Okay, wait for you. Kulang pa tayo. Call them.
Yes po.
Wala pa? 12 pa lang kayo. Where the rest? Where are the others?
No-contact na po namin. Lang.
You coming back? Maybe Gabriel, we can schedule one more meeting na lang to before the Christmas break.
Pwede po.
The continuation and then the presentation of group. Kung alanganin.
Yes po. When po kaya yun?
Sana, kailan bang kasi we are going to the province din eh. Sana we can find something. Ano ba yung date next Saturday?
Next Saturday is 10 po sa December 10 po.
Next Saturday siguro, let me see schedule kasi pag December na marami na activities. Going to the province siguro. 18, something like that. Sige, tapos yung presentation ng group research next meeting na lang.
Yes po.
Nag-left pa itong isa si Del Moro.
Nagkaka-internet problems po ata.
Oo nga, so let's continue. Paano yung iba? Share your notes na lang. We have to, I hope you could finish these slides. Ikaw na lang natin yung importante, no?
Question lang po. How
Yes.
about yung synthesis po for this session? Kailan po ang pasahan?
Yung next meeting natin, sa December, let's make it flexi. Pag makaset tayo ng time, either let me see if we can make it this Saturday or next Saturday. 10 ba yung Saturday?
10 or
17 ba yun? Sunod? 17?
Opo.
Let's make it flexi lang para hindi tayo mahirapan.
Sige po.
Try natin kung next Saturday kung kaya Message lang yung message, let's message lang para kita na tapos yung group presentation para you're ready to start. Pero if you have already a certain topic that you can start making your doing research, start reading on a topic that interests you about anything what we discuss here are related to globalization. Okay, so can you project the slide? I cannot wait for others if they're not coming. Back. Yung note lang, yung hindi na bumalik Ilang session na ba? Third session. Sige. Tapusin natin lang yung slide, no? So, what is culturalism? It is really it means existence of different culture in one location, in one place, no? So that is what we call multiculturalism. Although in research it refers to a theory, no, where there is different culture in one place, no. Why? There's always interaction of cultures, especially in global age. There's intensified interaction of cultures because of integration. No? So you always encounter multiculturalism in globalization setting. So today, you must be always aware that there is always multiculturalism around you, okay? Especially if you live in the city. Of course, in the rural areas, there's lesser multiculturalism, no? Rural areas compared to the city. City kasi maraming mga turista, mga immigrants, di ba? People from different countries, foreigners, aliens. So there is a higher chance of multiculturalism in the city compared to the province or the rural areas. Next slide. So there's another phenomenon connected to multiculturalism is what you call deterritorialization of culture. The word territory there, deterritorialization. That means the culture that is supposed to be rooted in one place is now transported to different territories or place. By whom? By people. People are agents of their culture. So when people migrate or transfer to a different place, they also bring with them in their mind their culture. So kung Ilocano ay nag-migrate sa California, dalalala niya yung kanyang Ilocano culture in the mind, no? Okay? O ikaw ay isang Tagalog, pupunta ka sa isang lugar, dala-dala mo yung Tagalog culture. Now, in the age of globalization, mabilis yung migration ng tao, di ba? Galaw ng tao. So, mabilis yung deterritorialization of culture. Okay? Kaya makikita mo sa isang lugar ay sa California, maraming Pilipino doon. And then they leave the Filipino culture as if they don't leave the Philippines. Kasi sa California, ang daming Pinoy. So kapitbahay mo mga Pinoy. So ganun din yun. Pagkain, mga Pinoy pa rin. Pero wala sa Pilipinas. Nasa Amerika. Iyan, na-uprooted. No? Dala sa Amerika ang Filipino culture. So na-deterioralize ang cultures, ang Filipino culture napunta sa Amerika. Ganun yung Iranians nag-aral ng medicine dyan sa UERE, dala-dala nila kanilang Iranian culture. Okay? So, as if they don't live Iran, they live together among themselves. Live the Iranian culture. Okay? Liwanag ba yan? Hello? Okay? So, what causes this migration? Why do people migrate? Because of poverty. They want to live out of poverty. Diba, sa Syria, ang dami mga, because of bombing and because of war in Syria, they go to Europe. Yeah? Kawawa nga eh. Some died in the sea, crossing, going to Portugal and then Portugal to Europe, Germany, etc. Okay? So they're bringing with them Syrian culture in European soil. Okay? So because of global migration, it's a new phenomenon because of globalization. And also poverty, escape poverty is to migrate. So migration is a strategy of the poor to survive. Okay? No question? Next slide. Next slide. No, it is a picture showing massive migration. No, India going to around different parts of the world. Latin Americans also migrate to go to the US. Di ba? So migration is the main cause of deterritorialization of culture because migrants bring with them their local culture. Because culture is learned in the mind. Values, beliefs, are in the mind, are on the mind. Okay, next slide. Next slide. So we here, so we have multiculturalism in education. Again, because of migration, people study different places and work in different places, and so it results to multiculturalism. Especially if you live in if you work in multinational or global companies, you really experience multiculturalism, no? Because employees come from different countries, multinational, like, diba? Also schools now opening to different nationalities, no? In the US, kaya it's difficult to teach people coming from different culture because you have to study their culture to understand their behavior. No? Next slide. Slide. Also here, there is multiculturalism in food. There's borrowing and mixture of different ingredients. Here, McDonald's Indonesia is now incorporating the Indonesian cuisine, Indonesian ingredients in McDonald's, no? An American company. So in Manila, there's also interaction between Indonesian and Philippine food in some restaurants in Metro Manila or other places in the Philippines. Next slide. So here, example of multiculturalism in, in multinational companies or international companies. No? Kasi ang dami yan, Adidas, Chanel, no? LinkedIn, McDonald's, lahat yan ay multinational global companies. So, generally, global companies, multinational, give higher pay compared to local industries in the Philippines. But you have to adapt to their culture. No? So, mahirap din yun. It can cause conflict, racism, discrimination as a result of multiculturalism. May negative effect eh. No? Ang positive naman, you will deal with diversity, no? In a working place that will enhance openness and communication. It is multicultural, no? Okay, flexibility. Next slide. This is multicultural dressing. There is now a reappropriation of different elements in dressing. Even yung mga fashion, di ba? Halo-halo na yung mga style. Minsan you borrow or you imitate, you change and you add something. Madali lang yan eh. The age of the internet, mag-search ka lang. Uy, maganda to ha. Tapos babaguhin mo lang konti, adapt mo sa local culture. Ayan, magkaroon ng, because of multiculturalism, no? Ang globalization. Kaya halo-halo na ngayon eh. Dati-rati, bawal naman mag-Amerikana sa rubber shoes. Ngayon, hindi na naman nakabakol na makikita mo na nga si ano Ben sa ano yung kay ano ba si Ryan sa ano ba yun? Ryan Banks. So, dati bawal yung ganyan, no? Formal tapos haluan mo ng informal. Pero ngayon sa multiculturalism, who cares, no? Very flexible na. Tapos combination of different clothing design and materials. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Hello. Ayan, again, this is the idea is another concept of cultural hybridization. So you have culturalism, cultural deterritorialization of culture. Cultures are uprooted in their original place because of migration. People migrating, bringing with them their local culture. As a result of multiculturalism in one place, there are different cultures because of migration. Another process that will take place is cultural hybridization. No? Where cultural element blends with another culture and modifying the elements to fit cultural norms. So nagkaroon ng combination, hybrid. No? So American culture, Filipino culture. American, German culture. They're borrowing of cultural elements from one culture over another within one place kasi multicultural nga. So ang tendency, they mix or combine different elements of from different cultures. Ayan, maging hybrid. Parang sasakyan hybrid. May gasolina, may electric, ganun din. So magkaroon ng hybrid. No? Ngayon, naging hybrid niya mga Pinoy na mga millennials na Korean na mga fans ng K-pop. Hybrid na yung hybridized yung Korean culture and Filipino culture. Okay? Yan ang hybridization. Tendency yan kapag so many cultures in one place. Okay? No question? Next. Example to ng hybridization. Clothes and TV shows like Itbulaga, combining Indonesian and Filipino culture. No? Kaya yung mga host, mga Indonesian din. Pero yung concept, Itbulaga comes from a Filipino culture. Sa mga telenovela, nagkaroon ng hybridization yan. Kung ito translate mo sa local, yung mga Channel 7, mga telenovelas na Mexican o Korean, i-translate nila, that results to hybridization of Filipino and foreign culture. Okay? Kaya madalas yan nangyayari because of multiculturalism. And think that in the 60s or 70s or 50s, no, bihira makahanap ng bihira lang yung talaga yung hybrid styles. No? Next slide. So here example of McDonald's dealing with customers from different cultural backgrounds. No? So the tendency is there might be miscommunication. No? Dito, how do you deal with multicultural settings when you deal with different foreigners? First, you should do anthropological research on culture and behavior. That's the first step. When you deal with Iranians, you read something about Iranian culture. Deal with the Saudis, then read about Saudi culture. No? First step. How you understand them if you don't study them? You can ask them, interview people. No? Avoid rash judgment people's behavior based on appearance. Ayan. No? Tawag yan, there are two ways of studying behavior, two levels of understanding people's behavior. Max Weber calls it observational understanding based on appearance, and the deeper understanding is first-stain or interpretive understanding. Here, you want to understand the motive of the person's action. Yung una, appearance lang, stereotypes, no? No? So, yun ang hindi malalim. So, based on appearance, based on what you see, but you don't know the motive. If you really want to understand the meaning of the action, you have to know the appearance, observational understanding, based on your senses, observation, and know the motive or interpretive understanding. Know the motive of the actor. You place yourself into the shoes of people. So, halimbawa, itong mga Palestinians, pag nagsasalita daw, or the Arabs, they are close with one another. Na parang as if they are kissing already. So kung makita mo sila, men talking very intimately because they are Palestinians and Arabs, ang observational interpretation mo or understanding, dahil nakita mo lang sila, yung mga tingnan mo yung mga Iranians, ganun yung Malayalam magsalita yan, malapitan kung sila ay nag-uusap. So if you don't understand their culture, akala mo mga bading sila o naghahalikan, parang may relationship sila. Yun pala, if you apply first-stain interpretive understanding, if you study the culture of the Palestinians, Arabs, way of communication, normal pala sa kanila yung intimacy. Yun talaga yung concept ng distance, cultural distance ay malapitan because that's part of their culture. So, you might misunderstand them if you base it on observational understanding according to Max Weber. You go deeper, put yourself in the shoes of the people, of the Saudis or Palestinians, and learn their culture. And you will notice that this is really part of their culture. To be intimate when they communicate. No? Or you might misunderstand them as gays or homosexuals if you only base it on your observation. Kaya hindi malalim. Okay? Kaya sabi nila, you can judge the book by its cover. You go deeper. Learn the motive and know the culture of the person. Okay? Hello? You follow? Dalawa yan, very important. Observational understanding and interpretive understanding. Many problems are caused by judgment based only on observational understanding. Nakita ang boyfriend mo, nag-holding hands, akala mo may relasyon na agad. Break na tayo. But you didn't understand why They are holding hands. Malay mo kung kapatid niya, malay mo sinesave yung babae na magpapakamatay. And yet you have seen them from afar na meron silang nag-holding hands sila. You don't understand the motive, interpretive understanding. Kaya mag-break up kayo pero hindi mo intindihan ang totoong nangyayari. Kasi incomplete ang observation mo or understanding or interpretation. Hello, can you follow me? Hello,
Yes.
cross judgment yun. Yung makita mo lang panlabas, tapos pagtatawanan mo, kasi kakaiba magsuot, kakaiba magsalita. Di ba? Tulad ng mga Tagalog, pinagtatawan ng mga Bisayans kasi nagkakamali sa accent ng I at E. Di ba? Hindi mo naintindihan, observational understanding lang yun. Uy, ang E ng ebidensya. O, kasi yun ang criteria mo. Dapat may kaibahan ng I at E. Kasi Tagalog culture distinguishes I and E. Pero if you are really a Visayan and you grow up in the Visayan culture, walang distinction ng I at E, P at saka V, F at saka P. So, normal yun na magkaroon ng ganong mispronunciation. Pero pinagtatawanan. Di ba? Stereotype pa nila sa television, yung mga katulong ay mga Visayan accent. O that's cultural ethnocentrism, self-centered understanding. At observational understanding lang ginamit mo based on what you hear from the Visayan. Pero you don't understand that that's not their first language. First language ng Visayan has no distinction of I and E. Di ba? Kaya kung naintindihan mo yan, hindi mo pagtatawanan. Siyempre, kung ikaw din lumaki sa Visayan culture, ganun din mangyayari sa'yo. Di ba? Kaya hindi nila alam, pinagtatawanan at ginagawang katatawanan sa media. That's an example of ethnocentrism. My culture is the center of the universe. Mali yan. Okay? Dapat cultural relativism. Every culture is as good as the other because each culture is unique. You have to respect. You have to study first a foreign culture. Huwag yung based on external observational understanding. You make already your judgment. Okay, tulad ng sa picture, kung hindi mo alam, may subculture pala itong mga to. Corporate culture, yung sa dulo, iba yan. Diba? Ito naman, mga punk group o iba naman yung kanilang subculture. So, hindi mo pwedeng generalize na pareho yung kanilang cultural behavior. Okay? Hello? Naintindihan ba yan? Hello? Basic
Yes.
yan. Kaya ang tao nagkaroon ng problema because they only judge the external, the appearance, or the action from afar, though based on their observation. You do research, sabi ni Max Weber in social science. You investigate. Diba? You go beyond what you see. You interview people. Read about culture of the other. Diba? Double check mo yung nakita mo. Sigurado tama ang interpretation mo. You put yourself in the shoes of the person. Ano kaya ang katotohanan? Okay? Kaya nga, tama yun to some extent. You cannot judge the book by its cover. You can judge the book by its cover only some aspect of it, but not the entire content if you don't read the book. Ganun na nga yan. Okay? So, yun, that's very important. And how to deal with multicultural setting. Study the culture of the person before you judge. No? Interview, gather data, do research, and understand fully the behavior of other people. Okay? Okay, sa Pilipinas, ang PUP hindi masyadong multicultural dahil subsidized ng government. Bihira makahanap ng foreigner sa PUP. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng subsidize ng Philippine government yung foreign students. Pero in many private schools sa Metro Manila University, mataas ang multiculturalism. There are foreign students enrolling, no, in Ateneo, no, other private universities, UST, LaSalle. Okay, that's where you're gonna apply interpretive understanding of first thing. Go deeper than the externals. Okay, wala na. Meron ba other slide? Last slide na to. Hello, Gabriel? Oh, yan. So, ito yung three attitudes to culture. One is ethnocentrism. This is something wrong. If ethnocentrism, my ethnic group is the center of the universe. Ethnocentrism. Ito ay self-centered. Kung Tagalog ka, you judge other people, the Visayans, as from point of view of Tagalog. Ethnocentric yan. Self-centeredness ka. Kaya you have to study anthropology, social sciences, no? And culture to be able to be tolerant with diversity of behavior. Okay? Be open, let them be. What you see, kakaiba siya, withhold your judgment. Pag-aralan mo muna bakit ganyan siya. Okay? Go deeper to the motive. Yan ang ethnicity. By studying social culture, by studying this course and social sciences, you will minimize your ethnocentrism because you become tolerant to diversity, cultural diversity of behavior of people and beliefs, etc. Di ba? Oo. Hindi ka masyadong narrow-minded kapag nag-aral ka ng research, social sciences, di ba? Contemporary world. Because you're exposed to different cultural orientation. Okay? Ito naman ethnocentrism. Ito naman, opposite ng ethnocentrism. My culture is inferior to other culture. Yung una, self-centered ang attitude. Ito naman, parang inferiority complex. You consider your Filipino culture as inferior to American culture, European culture, or other culture. In extreme naman to, that's another extreme. No? We want to avoid this because each culture is as good as the other. No? Ito this results to colonial mentality na local products are inferior to foreign products. Yan, xenocentric yan. Yung iba, American dream, you want to go to America, American dream because they feel it, American culture is superior than Filipino culture. Daming Pinoy na pumupunta doon. Kaya the idea of American dream that American culture is superior than Filipino culture. Pero pagdating noon, ang dami naman problema sa Amerika. No? Hindi na, basta ka na lang babarilin, gun control, walang gun control na sa US. No? Oo. Racism, may problema sa racism ng US, no? White supremacist, no? Ang daming problema sa US. At napakamahal ang standard of living. Magiging homeless ka if you are earning less in the US, no? Ang daming homeless sa California, sa ibang lugar. Living in a rich country but experiencing poverty. Ang dami dyan sa YouTube, ang daming homeless. Oo. As example, no? Na akala mo superior, pagdating doon, wala pala. Kung hindi ka nagtatrabaho, no? Our profession is not honored in other countries, no? Kaya menial jobs ang trabaho pagdating doon. Oo. Ang mataas ang bilihin. Among ko ba, these people have been, siguro, deceived by this American dream. Lalo na ngayon na naghirap din ng US. Okay? So, anong proper attitude? Cultural relativism. That one culture is as good as the other. Therefore, respect the diversity and tolerance to different cultural variety of behavior, values, and attitude. No? Makukuha mo lang itong cultural relativism kung nag-aaral ka ng social sciences, sociology, and particularly anthropology. By reading research on different cultures, cultural behavior, etc. Research mo na lang yan kung meron ka something that is different from your culture. Okay? So kung you have high culture of the rich is the same as low culture of the poor. Pero they have different dynamics. Di ba? American culture is as good as Filipino culture. Merong positive, may negative. There's always two sides of the coin. Oh. Sa Canada, nag-migrate na sa Canada. Akala mo maganda. O maganda. Social services. Maganda yung welfare state kasi support by the government. No? Hospitalization. Maganda yung social services. Maayos ang traffic, etc. Magandang kapaligiran, malinis. Pero the other side, ang taas ang taxes. Di ba? Ang lakas ng kanilang anti-child abuse na to the extent na talagang nagiging spoiled yung mga bata, no? Lack of parental guidance, kaya lumaki sa layaw. There's be a kind of discipline. Hindi mo magagawa sa daming anti-child abuse law sa US at Canada. Sabi nga yung kamag-anak namin na galing sa Canada, mga kabataan rin dyan, tignan ako ng mga sa convenience store, hindi nila mahuli-huli, hindi nila napabayaan lang atin ng mga pulis. Kasi na baka sila pa ang makakusa ng child abuse. O, na-spoiled yan. Okay? So, walang perfectong kultura. One culture is as good as the other. Don't judge, don't be ethnocentric. And judge other culture, other people's behavior based on your own standard, cultural standard. And never also look up other culture as superior. European culture, US culture as superior, Canadian culture. That's also wrong. Kasi lahat naman ay may distinct characteristics for every culture. Okay, we are through with the slides. Any question, clarification? So this gives us a summary of the effect of globalization to culture. It results in multiculturalism. It results to deterritorialization of culture because people migrate to find greener pastures during globalization. And it results also to cultural hybridity where culture borrow elements with one another in one place because of multiculturalism. Okay, and how to deal that is to be open at the same time study the culture of others and don't judge, use your own culture to judge others. No, each culture is as good as the other. Okay, amen. Kung iba huli na nakahabol, you have to ask notes from your classmates. O dapat magpaalam kayo sa otherwise you'll be marked absent for every session na hindi ka bumalik. Hello, Gabriel? Nandiyan ka pa ba?
Dito po.
Inote mo yun kung hindi nakabalik o late na. Okay? Hello?
Opo.
Yung chapter 2 and 5 from my book, Down with It, Academia, it gives you a context, background on economic globalization naman to and trade, no? So makikita mo yung role of multilateral agreements sponsored by the US after World War II, no? And then the creation of the World Bank, and then IMF, International Monetary Fund, and eventually the World Trade Organization. Kasi before the World War II, the economic policy is protectionism. Each country or nation wanted to protect its own economy. They don't want foreign trade. They don't want to import foreign goods. Ngayon ang problema dyan eh. Kaya hindi magkaroon ng unified global trade and network, no? Kanya-kanya. Pero after World War II, when the war broke out, destroyed economies around the world, and the US experiencing overproduction of goods, wanted foreign market, That's where they created the World Bank, controlled by the U.S. because it is the largest contribution of the money comes from the U.S. And so they control the World Bank. And so countries wanted to borrow World Bank and reconstruct their economy after World War II. There is already a condition of free trade. So abandon their protectionism and reduce the tariffs and requirements. No, so goods can enter one country over another. Free trade, malayang kalakalan. Pero advantageous yan sa US because after that, the US were able to export its product around the globe. Okay? Hello? And then the US became the number one exporter of intellectual property. No? And then impose its own rules on against piracy and intellectual property in the TRIPS trade agreement, trade-related aspect of intellectual property. Yung multilateral agreement yan ay GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Kasama sa GATT yung TRIPS. Yan ay pinarmahan ng more than 110 countries around the world, including the Philippines. Okay? So that's the reason why the US is against piracy. Because the US is number one exporter of intellectual property. Movies, music, di ba? Trademarks, patents, yan. Lahat yan ay largely American products. Okay? So the currency, the shift of international global trade now is on ownership of intellectual property. Yeah. Okay? So the US is against piracy. So the sanctioned countries firing original products, IP products of the US. Okay, we'll continue next meeting. Hello? Hello, Gabriel.
May
Si
suggestion po pala regarding dyan.
May tanong ba kayo bago tayo mag-reschedule before we end the course?
Sa ano po ba?
Sa
Topic po.
discussion, wala na. So I
Wala.
hope you will incorporate this, and also read the readings para you will have a good creative one-page synthesis that incorporates some aspect. Hindi mo naman lahat ma-summarize yan yung sinasabi ko at saka yung sa readings, di ba? In a way, just focus your synthesis to some aspect of or topics of the session and readings, and synthesize them in one page, probably around 3 paragraphs. Okay? Reflect over it and get some learning experience and then start making your paper. Pangalawa na ito, di ba? So ang deadline nito ay hindi pa natin na-finalize. Either we will meet on December 10 or 17. Naglalaro sa dalawa. Okay?
Sir, may suggestion po kami
Yes.
regarding dyan. Pwede pong asynchronous session na lang po sa December 10 para makapag-prepare po kami ng PowerPoint presentation and mabasa po namin yung readings.
Kailan?
Sa December 10 po. Kasi meron din po
Paano
kaming
yung
activities sa ibang subjects.
Sino na tayo mag-meet? Paano yung paper nyo? Proposal nyo?
Yung proposal po sa December 17 na lang po.
Okay.
Then
Sige.
yung due date
Ano
po
yung-
ng synthesis is December 16 po.
So, ang next meeting natin ay yung proposal nyo muna.
Yes
Proposal.
po.
And then maybe if there's some time, then I will finish the discussion on chapter 2 and 6. Okay?
Apo.
Pero magbasa kayo para mag-list tayo. Tapos presentation na. Tentatively, December 17.
Yes po.
Sige. Magbasa na kayo. Mag-isip na kayo kung ano yung topic pipiliin nyo. Something related to our At meron kayong guide question. Ano ba ito? Research question. What? Why? How? Ayan. To guide your research. Sige. Okay, open your cameras. Wala na kayong tanong, clarification.
Lalagay na po namin sa calendar namin. December 17.
Sige,
next
then let's be flexi. Sakaling meron ding activity kami, ilipat natin. Ha? Sana
Sige
mag-meet tayo before Christmas break para may time kayo mag-research na, ha?
Opo.
Okay. Sige, open your camera and sa picture taking. Thank you very much sa greetings. kahapon, birthday celebration ko. Thank you, Salamat. Okay, open your camera. And post it in our GC, Okay. Update mo ako, Gabriel, Baka makalimutan natin yung pinag-usapan natin. So busy. Okay. Smile. Okay. Open your camera. Sino mag-picture? Ikaw, Gabriel?
Yes po na picture.
Okay. Velas?
Okay na po.
Okay na?
Okay na po.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you,
Thank you po.
Kayo. Salamat. Okay, pakishare yung notes nyo sa mga nag-absent,
Sige po.
Okay. Ingat. Happy weekend.